Ho everybody's, how you doing? My name is Chris Williams, or as the ladies call me, Damp Sex Burger, ladies, and you are watching the unofficial Game Informer community video thingy, a very silly show where I talk about all things Game Informer, whether that be the content that the crew makes over at GameInformer.com or something interesting happening within the community itself. Now, DJ, play that boogie. So to the uninformed, each and every week, I start the show off with the topic of the week. Now, on the last show I did, I asked you guys what your most anticipated game for the rest of the year was. And you all, of course, said Fallout 4, which, obviously, of course you did, because you're smart people. And smart people say smart things. So this week, I thought it would only make sense to ask the saltiest people I know to get even saltier. Game Informer community, what game coming out this holiday season do you care the least about? And for bonus points, try and guess which one my answer is. If I wanted to play a shooter with no story and an expensive DLC plan, I'd play Destiny! Alright, now, don't forget that if you're watching this and you're not a member of the Overblood Facebook group somehow, also, aka Game Informer's unofficial fan Facebook page, the link is down below. It's the Overblood Facebook community, go click it. Now it's time for the community shoutout, the part of the show where I brag about how cool some of you guys are. First off, there's this thing called All Platform Gaming, link down below, where apparently they'll just let anybody write about games, because they've hired Siamese Moore and Brett Toned. Have you heard of them? They're very good friends, big fans of the show from what I understand. They have been putting up articles and doing fun things over at that All Platform Gaming, and you should absolutely go support them, tell them how awesome they are. And speaking of writing on a credible website, we can't forget about the blog herding that's going on over at GameInformer.com, done by Luis Mendoza, Too Fast to Stop Garcia. This week, he shared Overbuddy's Rebecca Lang's article about the wonder of PS4's SharePlay function, and Will Watson's article about boss battle music. And speaking of Rebecca, she has a Facebook page that you should go like. I talked about it a while back, and you guys are awesome enough to get her page over the 100-like hump. But for those of you who aren't aware, you should go check it out. She writes about a lot of cool community things, a lot of cool things in video game community news. One take, it's too long, it's like a big paragraph. I ain't stopping, okay? So, she writes a lot of cool articles about games. She talks about awesome stuff. She's talking about Bloodborne. It's too hard. She's casual. Sorry, I said it, Rebecca. Deal with it. Hashtag deal with it. No, game's hard, and I understand. It's a lot of bullshit in that game. And to go back to blog herding very quickly, this week's community writing challenge over at GameInformer.com is if you had 1 week to hang out with any video game character, who would it be? So head over to GameInformer.com, go to the blog section, and write a cool thing about hanging out with Nathan Drake. What would you do if you were friends with Nathan Drake? Ooh, we tell stories about picking up girls. That's what we do. I'm gonna go home and type that tonight. Boom. Thanks, Luis Mendoza, Too Fast to Stop Garcia. You're the best. But seriously, go post, and then you'll be on the thing, be on the blog herd, and I'll talk about you, and then we're all together. And then Inception. Think about it. And to wrap things up, let's talk about the thing that keeps the lights on. This little company called What is it? Oh yeah, Game Informer. Maybe you've heard of them. They're kind of a big deal. So, I've been arguing with some fool named Dan Tack and how these chronicles are actually super replays, and he would always say, no, they're chronicles. There's a difference. Yeah. Hearthstone and Dota. He always said that. I never understood. Well, guess what? This past week, Shenmue, remember that Chronicle? Yeah, it turned into a, guess what, Super Replay. Oh, and then guess what? The Dark Souls Chronicle, guess what it turned into? Oh yeah, Super Replay. Crazy. Who called it? This guy. You're welcome. Okay, we were all like, hey, where are the Super Replays? We missed the Super Replays. Guess what? Boom, we got 2 of them. And no one wanted to listen to me, old Papa Chris. I know, okay? I'm like the 6th oldest guy in the group. I know more than all of you. I have a wealth of knowledge. Boom. That's why my hair's all gone. No room for hair follicles. Too much knowledge. Think about it. Now, and to wrap things up, I've got one last thing I want to talk about. So apparently, in the weeks that I've been gone, something happened. Something showed up, and it took over the tubes that made the YouTube and the MySpace work. It's taken over the Googles. It's taken over the internets, and it's called Undertale. I don't know what that is. Some kind of game on Steam. PC. Yuck. Am I right? Now, though, people like it, so it makes sense that, Ben Hansen, Tim Turry, they would interview the creator of Undertale on the GI podcast. Links, of course, to that and everything I've talked about are down below. Go check it out. Support the GI people because they're awesome. Not the Army guys, but the Game Informer crew. Support the Army, but also support... Well, this has been the unofficial Game Informer community video thingy, and remember that if you are watching this, it means just one thing. You're awesome. Later, guys.